3, 2, and 1. Going live. Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Good to see you again. We're here each week, you and I, to make sure that you get that mindset reset that you want, need, deserve for the week. All right, so today, what are we going to be talking about? So you might say this one isn't as an exciting of a topic as some of our other topics, but I would say nay. It actually is so important. And those of you who are like myself, much more introverted, much more, having been told I need to do things by myself, having been used to kind of like this experience of rejection. Instead, we get to take a look at where has life given us benefit when people stepped up and into our lives, when we stepped up and into somebody else's life. Felt so much more supportive. It felt so much more uplifted. It felt so much lighter and easier. Now, I'm talking about people who add support, not people who add weight, okay? So we're going to be talking about that today, and I'm going to share with you 6 tips. And there's loads more, right? But the idea is when we're taking a look at these 6, it gets you started thinking, oh, okay, so how can I continue to build my network? How can I continue to step into the truth? I deserve support. I deserve to give support. And so if I expect someone else to take it from me, then I need to be that kind of person who steps up and says, yeah, I'll ask for help. I'll let you support in this way. I'll share these ideas and maybe look for somebody who wants to sponsor that idea, or maybe who wants to invest into this idea. Or maybe I'm just looking for, in my case, a virtual assistant who can help me take my social media ideas and put it out into the world, right? So it's important to know that the post you guys get, I have helped putting it out there. She puts together also ideas. I say, okay, I like this concept, or I have this article, or I have these things I've already created, and take this and do this. And then I go back and I look over it again and I review the different things. I say, okay, this is great. Or change here, change there, make these changes. Okay, go ahead and post it. And then I go back and I see how things are going. And I say, okay, can you reply this and reply that and reply this? And then there's other times where I'm replying, but it makes 2 of me. Have you ever said, I want 2 of me? It can make 2 of you. And in other cases, when you might be feeling depleted, there might be that friend or that coach or that mentor or that therapist or that pastor who comes in and brings God's word, brings that word you were praying for, and just speaks it over your life. And all of a sudden, you just feel plugged back in. I like to think of it, you know, those plugs for the dryer with like the huge prongs, and they're all weird. I like to think of them as we have that kind of cord, and we need to stay plugged in, right? And whether you say God, or whether you say Lord, or whether you say universe or love, or we stay plugged in. And there's so many times we get so busy, we forget. So if we're not plugged in, it's draining out. But if we remember to get plugged in, then we're already going to be filling back up again. So the first thing you want to do is identify what is your need. Oftentimes we're so busy going through life, we don't need anything. I got this. I'm perfectly fine. I don't need anything. I've got, but then we'll turn around and go, man, I feel like I'm doing this all by myself. I feel like nobody's ever asking me how I'm doing. I feel like nobody thinks I ever need anything. Well, if that's what you project, then that's the result you're going to get. So you not only need, right, get to identify your need, but you also get to realize you have to share what your need is. People cannot read your mind. So you have to reach out to people, right? And I'm talking about the healthy people, not the ones who, if you reach out, they can't, they're not capable. Or maybe they just don't know how, and they need support in learning how, because you guys have created this interesting dynamic where neither of you can hear each other, right? And that happens. And that's another part of making sure that that connection is created. That's a separate topic from today, but it's still essential. If you're asking for what you need from somebody who doesn't know how or can't, because of the relationship dynamics, then you're setting yourself up for some sabotage. You're setting yourself up for disappointment. You're setting yourself up for the statement of, I can't ask for help. When I ask for help, I don't get it. When I ask for help, I'm not heard. When I ask for help, I'm disappointed. That's a loop. That's got to get cleaned up. So I just want to throw that in there because that's real important. I hear that so often with support. I can't ask for support because of fill in the blank. That's a separate area, but it does need to be addressed. Otherwise, you're right. You're never going to be able to ask for the help you want. It's either going to be too expensive, or it's going to be too disappointing, or it's going to be too much time, and it just, steals away your time to try to ask for help. Whatever it is, you fill in the blank, that also needs to get addressed. Separate, coming back over here, knowing what your needs are, asking for what your needs are from another person. Now, what I do is I help people learn how to ask for that from a person who may not know how. Right? If you've got a wedge in a relationship, that wedge has got to be removed. We can't just go, well, we need to remove that. It's got to be, there's a process, right? Even when you're going to go eat something, there's a process. You got to peel off the cover. You've got to put it on a plate. So now you don't have a mess. You've got to clean up everywhere. You've got to get your drink so you're not choking on it. There's a process. And so you don't want to bypass those steps. Otherwise, it's just not going to be the same. Now you're going to have eaten it, but you're choking on it. And it just isn't comfortable. And then you're just like, why did I do that in the first place? Right? So we set up each step so the flow is smooth. Identify your need, be sharing. People cannot read your mind as much as you want them to. And you might not know how to ask for what you need. You might not even know how to see what your needs are. You might just see the pain and the frustration. So it's important to learn how to be able to see what your needs are to be able to address them. And that takes emotional awareness, right? It takes learning, what do my emotions need? What are these thoughts that are creating these emotions? I don't even want to have this. This. I just put it away. I don't deal with it, right? Or I think I deal with it, but I still have the same results. And there's so many variations from just the couple that I've mentioned. So you might need help right from step one. And that would be asking for the proper support that you need. And that's why I do this, because a lot of times, even when I had to learn how to do this work for me, myself, I didn't know how to ask for help. And sometimes it's still difficult. Sometimes I know what the problem is, but I don't know what the help I need is. And I might have this kind of coach, and I'm asking. I'm not really getting what I need. This kind of coach, asking, not really getting what I need. I'm getting other stuff, which is great. So it's, it's working. But it's like that piece, like I'm not getting that met. What the heck is that? Sometimes that's the case, right? And sometimes you have to go, which I had to do, and kind of plug through because you're just not asking the right questions to the right people. Until finally I was like, got it. And then I asked the right questions to the right person and figured out what I needed. Sometimes that's all we need to do. And I say that's all we need to do, but sometimes it might take years. But instead of it taking years for you, find somebody who had to go through that so you can ask them. And you don't have to spend all that time and all of that money and all of that frustration and all of that fill in the blank. Instead, you find someone who's been there and you learn from them, right? I'm in this group now where we're learning about terms, right? Where it's being able to use other people's experience, being able to use other people's time, being able to use that so then you can apply it much quicker, easier. And what took them all this time takes you this time. And they're willing to help you do that. That's why I do what I do, because stuff took me all this time and I'm okay with it. But boy, if I could have learned how to do it in this time, I wouldn't be 46 with this stuff. I'd be 26 back in the day, right? 20 years ago. I would have had it then, but I didn't know how to ask for it. I didn't know how to get it. I didn't know. But now I do. So I can share that with other people, which is why I give you these weekly doses of information so you can keep growing, so you can keep thriving, so you can keep planting this information so your stuff happens quicker. And so you don't have to feel like you're out there alone, right? That's why I do this. I know what it felt like. I know what it feels like. And so I do this every week to bring you that support. And there's been some years where I did it every day. So for a fact you are not alone. Ask for that support. Identify what your needs are. Now, the other thing is at times you might need to join a team, right? I'm part of a team. It's called More Value Now. I'm also part of a small team with my own company called Sparks Hope. And that company is also growing. I have my virtual assistant. I'm looking for an additional. I have my tax person. I have my advisors, but I'm looking to grow it even more so, right? So it's just as the team, then you have that spread out effort. It's like trying to lift a car. No way could I lift a car, but I bet here's even better. If I had a really strong team, they could lift the car for me. Right? I wouldn't have to because I really shouldn't be doing any kind of lifting like that. But let's say I was helping, then I could just do, right? Or let's say something more smaller, right? So let's say this desk. I can't lift this desk on my own. And I probably shouldn't be lifting this desk either. It's solid wood. But if I were to help, which I have, right? And it was heavy. So I wasn't like I was just, like this. But if there were a couple of us, right? There were 3 of us, I think, 2 smaller people and 1 bigger person. We were able to do it. It was a super struggle, but we were able to do it. And that's how it got into this space, right? There were other times when I didn't have to do anything because it was 2 big people and they were able to do it, right? So it's really having that team effort carry the weight. It makes stuff that's impossible possible. It makes stuff that's too hard way easier. It makes stuff that would hurt you. Oh, I feel like I worked out. I feel good, right? So that's having that team. So you can join teams by literally joining teams like I have, right? I have my company team and I have this other collaborative company team. I have another group, we're the woo-woo group, right? Of 4 ladies and we're a team. And I have networking teams, right? So there's different networking teams and I'm part of various groups. So if you're interested, let me know. I'll send you the information. Some of them are free. Some of them are $5 or $10. Some of them are a bit more like BNI or things like that where you pay more, but then of course you get more. So if you're brand new and you're like, where do I even start? Then you can ask more questions in that regard. If you're somebody you've been doing things, but you're like, well, what are some other groups? I'm interested. Let me know. Let me know. I'll share with you. There's also other places to go that I can share that with you as far as sites and different things and so many that are really very effective. So getting involved with them, collaborating with them, and some of them are national and they're great. I'm involved with several, but I also make sure they're of value. Like I can't just go and socialize. This is to help me grow my business. So there's not one of them that in this regard, I just go and socialize. There are others that I'm doing more for personal development that are also a space to be able to socialize as well. And we can get together. These other groups, if we get together separately, that's for socializing. So make sure you also have that taking care of you aspect. Okay, so this isn't just professional. This is also personal. So you're looking at it on both scales. You're getting that support in that regard. You're getting that support in that regard. And sometimes you'll see that the groups mesh and they give you both, right? Okay. And then number 4, find out where there's events. Find out where there's people going, where they're paying for different things. It could be free, but where there's different events where people are looking to make the change in their life. So as you're taking a look at what is it that I'm looking for? What's my goal? And this could be, again, professionally or personally. You could say, you know what? I just want to find a group of ladies that I can connect with. I'm new here and I just want to kind of get a feel of stuff. That could help you both professionally and personally. Or you could just find a personal group and you could ask some questions like, what do they do for work and things like that. And that could give you ideas. But there's these groups. As you're looking into these groups, people are going to be having events, speaking engagements where you can go. And that's a separate topic. If you need help with speaking, that's something that I also help with. Finding places to go, finding your talking points. How do you take the best parts of what you want to talk about and get that out there? You can also be a person who has your own event. And you might say, well, I don't want to have my own event. I want to collaborate. So you find other people who are getting ready to have events, and then you could be part of it. And that could be, again, both professionally and personally. You can allow yourself to begin to grow these things. So number 5, I talked about this one already. You want to find a support. You want to find a mentor. You want to find a coach. You want to find whomever it is that's going to guide you and move you through where you feel stuck. Forgive yourself for judging you. Forgive yourself for criticizing you because you need help. We have been taught, some of us anyways, have been taught that we're supposed to do it by ourselves. And if we don't, there's something wrong with us. Forgive yourself for that way of thinking. It's just an incorrect mindset. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. There's nothing wrong with needing help. There's also nothing wrong with having those old ideas. It's what got you through to where you are now. But you can allow your subconscious mind to realize that was some old gook that came from somebody else. And you're like, okay, that's not the truth. Letting that go, bringing in this new truth, which is so obviously true, because I could see if I'm picking up something heavy and I have help, oh, it's way lighter. So if I have somebody who's helping me picking up something that's emotionally heavy, then, oh, it's way lighter. They're actually helping me through, so the emotional heaviness is gone. Whoa, I can go even further. I can see things even farther. I can imagine, I can shift, I can go and do these things I couldn't do before. Whoa. And it just allows you to be able to progress in the ways that you see possible, right? You deserve that. That's what you're here for. All this other stuff, all this other, mind screw that we've had going on with ourselves. That's all it is. It just needs a cleanup, right? Just needs a cleanup, needs an alignment, needs a repair, right? You go to get your alignments because things get out of whack. Do the same thing for your mind. Ready? Like, think about it like you've got to declutter that stuff. Declutter the mind, the emotions, the spirit, just like physically, right? Detox. There's nothing wrong with it. It's necessary. You just haven't been planning for it. Now you get to plan for it. And you get to find that person, whether it's me or somebody else. Find that person or team that's going to help you create that. And soon enough, you're creating your own team, or you're joining another team that helps you grow where you need to grow. And you find, wow, this is what I'm here for. This is what it's supposed to feel like. And yeah, there's going to be tough times. There's going to be heavy times. But even as a team, right? Like carrying this desk with 3 people, there were 3 of us, and boy, it was hard. And in that case, that was a little sore afterwards, little pain afterwards. And so sometimes there's still going to be something that we're lifting just out of our comfort zone, and it may still be uncomfortable. But again, if somebody else had come in and said, whoa, let me get that, you might go, oh my gosh, okay, now I know what to do. I know to do it that way instead of this way, right? All right. And then finally, just like what I'm doing today, I'm taking everything that I've learned. Well, I can't do everything in this second, but each week I'm bringing you everything that I've learned. If you look back on everything that I've shared with you, it's everything that I've learned, and I'm giving it to you. And then when you come to work with me, I help you practice until you're just like, it's yours too. And then you're implementing it into your life, into your business, with your family. And I hear people come back and share with me all the time. Like they're so grateful for the results that they have. And they refer me to people left and right, family, children, parents, coworkers, people they're meeting along the way, like, oh my gosh, this person totally wants to talk to you. It's happened to me just twice this week and once last week. Oop, that's a reminder, 8:30, we're heading on over to Clubhouse if you want to join me there. Mindset Reset Wednesday with Tammy, Miriam, and Brenda, a team that I've also become a part of. And we're just there sharing our intention for the week. And we're also praying over our intentions for the week. And anyone who joins will also, we're having them share their intention, include that as well. And so this isn't just here, this is over there as well. But here, you guys get a lot more detail and a lot more tips and a lot more tools and a lot more support, just because that's where the framework works on Facebook. All right, cool beans, bring it together. You're going to identify what your needs are. Get help to figure that out. You're going to be able to reach out and share with other people. Get help to be able to do that, because some of your relationship dynamics are not especially healthy. We get to healthy those up, so that could be the support you're looking for. Or we get to help you find new ones, so that way, if these ones can't get healthied, at least right away, then you have the support you need, but you're making sure you ask for it, you let them know. And if you're not sure how, or they're not sure how to listen, that's how we healthy it up. Number 3, you're going to be joining groups, you're going to be joining organizations, you're going to be creating your own groups of people that you know, whatever that looks like. right? So you are supported. You have that accountability. You have that uplift. You have the tools coming in. You have the tools going out, getting that abundance flowing in and out. That's where it's going to be helping. Where was I? Number 4, you're going to be attending events. And the best thing you want to do is attend those events as the speaker, right? Or attend those events where you need to make contact with people and not just sort of sit in the back or be shy, right? I'm also somebody who's very introverted. I like to say I'm ambiverted because I am, pretty outgoing, but only for a short period of time because I kind of get introverted folks need that space to kind of recharge by themselves. But I don't think I'm just introverted. I think I'm a little on spectrum as well because I have overwhelm, right? I have sensory overwhelm through sound, through visual, through feeling other people's energy. And it is just like, it's a lot, right? So there's the needing to, what's the word? Decompress. That's the word I'm looking for. There's that need to decompress because it starts to feel like this and it does get draining. So I do have that both. I have the introverted experience as well as the overstimulation experience. And I work with a lot of clients who have that as well. But once you learn how to work with it, it doesn't affect you out in the world. It doesn't affect you in the ways that you need to because you understand what it is. And instead of it going like, oh my gosh, I don't know what's going on with my sensories, right? Then it's just like, oh wait, I do know what's going on. And this is what I could do while this person's talking. This is what I could do when I enter into a room. This is what I can do, So those are the things that you can make sure that you're doing. So that way, when you're out there, you're getting involved, you're connecting, even with family. I feel this way in every environment. I feel this way no matter who I'm talking to, because it's just a sensory overwhelm that happens to me, right? Okay, so number 5, the very last thing, number 6 is the last thing. Number 5, you're going to find that best connection, that best support, that best mentor, coach, pastor. Honestly, I'm biased. I find that a coach or a therapist is the best bet, right? Depending on what's needed. But make sure you're looking for the right ones. Just because they have that title doesn't mean they're good. It doesn't mean they're healthy. I've met some therapists and coaches. I'm just like, they said what? They're doing what? They did what? Oh, and it hurts my heart because clients coming to me have now this new stuff they've got to clean up because of those people. So shop around. You don't just go to the grocery store and shove anything into your cart. You see what's in it. And then you do the same thing with people. How are they behaving? What are they saying? Does that make sense? Are what they saying totally opposite of what you know better? That might mean they're in the realm of some unhealthy mental health going on, but because you're believing in them, you're accepting they're unhealthy. So be careful of that. Shop around. It's important. It's important. It's important to take care of you. It's important to set those boundaries. If you don't know how, check out somebody like myself who can help you do that. It's essential for you. Okay. And then last but not least, give to others. Guys, as I'm giving to you, it's selfish. It makes me feel better. I'm also learning even more of what I know. I'm practicing it. I'm bringing it back up. I'm thinking about it. I research it more. I look up different quotes and different ideas when I'm putting those posts out there. Like this stuff helps me to grow. Also, it helps me to connect with people and I hear new stories and new ideas. So it brings that support in and out, right? Allow people to receive and allow yourself to receive. I'm receiving from you when you tell me, oh my gosh, this helped so much. Even though I'm giving to you, by you letting me know this makes a difference for you, it just is confirmation. It's God saying you're in the right place. You're doing a good job. And that touches my heart so much. So anyway, so those are the 6. I reiterated them for you. Let me know how this helps. I do have a couple spots available, 2 at the moment. So if you are still, if you're like, I really do want to hear more and I want to grow more and I want to get this, then reach out to me. We can chat, we can have a discovery call, we can see if it's a good fit. And if not, you'll just have a lot of cool tools that I'm going to make sure that you leave with, okay? The other, hit share this information. copy what I wrote and share. There you go. Or you could say, oh my gosh, I learned this today, and then share. Oh my gosh, this is so helpful for this. Share. Because as you're putting this out there, other people who didn't know this information or didn't know how, you're the voice for them. So put that out there, make a difference for them. And I meant to ask if we could share this from the beginning, Cece. I didn't ask you what I needed. So whenever you're watching me on Wednesday, if you could share right away at the beginning, so that way more forks. So more forks and knives. Just kidding. So more folks can join us live, right? Not forks and knives. Folks can join us live. I meant to ask that, but sometimes we forget to ask for what we need. You take care of you. Know that you're loved. Know that you're appreciated. Know that just you watching this has me so proud of you, and you get to be so proud of you because you're taking it on, right? How many other people will just be like, meh, whatever. This is just me. This is just who I am. This is just, and they just deal with all of that stuff, or actually not deal with all of that stuff and make you have to deal with it instead. So you take care of you. Know that you're loved when you like it. And have a great week. I'll see you next Wednesday. Let me know what your questions are. Let me know your concerns. Let me know how this has helped. And if you have any questions, I'll make sure to add them to next Wednesday's live, even if it's not the topic. All right? All right, you guys. Take care of you. Bring it in. Big squishy hugs. Go get a hug today from somebody else. And if not, just give yourself a few of these. I'm imagining me giving you a hug and you giving me a hug right back. And we're sharing that unconditional love that God shares with us and reminds us that we are the co-creator in this life. We deserve to be loved. We deserve to share love. Take care of you. Get connected. Get yourself connected. The writing's on the wall. All right, guys. Take care. Bye.